There's one game left of our season, that being the Scottish Cup final against Aberdeen. So with that, a lot of attention has been focused on the upcoming transfer window where we've been linked with a whole host of players and others have been speculated to leave. In today's video, we will discuss the striker deal that is imminent whilst going over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Celtic winger Marco Tilio reminded everyone of his quality on Friday morning with a standout performance for Melbourne City in their 3-0 semi-final first leg win over Western United. The Australian winger, currently on loan from the Hoops, provided an assist and caused problems throughout in a match that puts Melbourne firmly in control ahead of the return leg at home. It was a timely reminder of the ability that convinced Celtic to bring Tilio to Glasgow in 2023. His return to Melbourne has seen the 23-year-old quickly rediscover his sharpness, and his latest performance will have caught the attention of the Celtic as they assess their squad ahead of the summer transfer window. The winger, who played just 27 minutes for Celtic after struggling with injuries and falling out of favour under Brendan Rodgers, is set to return to the Hoops at the end of the A-League campaign. Tilio himself believes he's returned to Melbourne a more complete footballer after a turbulent spell in Scotland. He said, "If I'm being completely honest, I think I'm in a better position now than what I was back then. I've matured a lot in the last couple of years. I had my first injury going over to Scotland and pretty much ridden all those waves, and here I am now. I feel more mature. I feel more a complete player now and understanding of the game a lot better," Tilio concluded. Tilio initially joined Celtic amid high expectations following a successful spell with Melbourne, where he helped the club reach the A-League Grand Final. However, a pre-season injury derailed his early progress, and with Celtic well stocked in the wide areas, including the likes of Jota, Yang Hyun-jun, Nicholas Kuhn and James Forrest, Tilio has found game time hard to come by in Glasgow. Now, Celtic face a decision. Do they give Tilio a fresh opportunity next season or look to move him on permanently? His performances back in Australia suggest he's ready to compete at a higher level, but whether that's in green and white remains to be seen. With the second leg of the semi-final set for Saturday, Tilio has another chance to strengthen his case. Melbourne are eyeing another grand final appearance, and the winger looks eager to play a massive role in that push. Now for the main story, Daniel Cummings looks set to leave Celtic this summer and join West Ham after being spotted at their game against Nottingham Forest. The young striker was seen in the stands in what appears to be the clearest sign yet that he's on his way to the Premier League club. The 19-year-old has been in great form this season for Celtic's B team, scoring 23 goals in 28 Lowland League games. He also impressed in the UEFA Youth League, where he scored 6 goals. His impressive performances have the eye of several clubs, but it's West Ham who have made the biggest move. Back in January, West Ham tried to sign him with a £500,000 offer, but Celtic turned it down. Since then, the London club has worked on a plan to bring him in once his contract runs out this summer. With that deal close, West Ham are expected to pay a development fee of around £300,000 to Celtic. Cummings also made his senior debut for Celtic earlier this year, coming off the bench in a Champions League match. But it now seems that his time at the Hoops is coming to an end, with West Ham allegedly offering a clearer route into first-team football. Graham Potter is said to be a big fan of Cummings. Reports suggest Potter and club legend Mark Noble have both been involved in talks to convince the youngster to make the move south. They've reportedly promised him chances with the first team next season. Brendan Rodgers had hoped to keep Cummings at Celtic, but recently admitted it's hard to stop young players from chasing moves to England. He's warned that not all agents have the players' best interests at heart and that young footballers need to be careful when making big decisions early in their careers. For now, all signs point to Cummings heading to the Premier League this summer. His appearance at the West Ham game is just the latest clue, and a deal could be confirmed soon. It looks like Celtic will lose another talented youngster before he's had the chance to properly break into the first team. In other news, Alistair Johnston is getting ready for 2 big days, the Scottish Cup final with Celtic and his wedding. Thankfully for the Canadian defender, his fiancée Peyton Pesavento made sure the dates wouldn't clash. Johnston spoke after Saturday's league title win about how lucky he feels that his future wife took charge of the planning. The wedding will take place after Celtic's cup final against Aberdeen on May 24th, giving him time a week to focus on both events. It's clear Johnston is happy with how things have worked out. He'll have time after the final to prepare for the wedding, and he won't have to worry about missing a game or rushing through a special moment in his life. He said, "I am getting married in a few weeks, but luckily my missus has done most of the planning. We can get the cup final done, and then I will have a week to get the speeches ready and everything. That's sneaking up quick, but we have time to get it sorted. What will be more nerve-wracking? That's a good question. I will be more emotional walking up the aisle, but we will see. Lucky enough, I have had Hampton a few times, but this is one time only for a wedding," he concluded. Johnston's words show the wedding is very special to him. He's used to important football games, but this is a one-time event. He's happy that everything has worked out. It's not always easy to schedule a wedding during the season. Players often don't know how long the season will go, especially if they reach a final. Johnston and Payton clearly took this into account when choosing the date. As Celtic aim to finish the season with a trophy, Johnston has more than one reason to stay focused. A win at Hampton would be the perfect way to head into a celebration of a different kind. And for Johnston, this summer will be one to remember, on the pitch and at the altar. Lastly, Kieran Tierney played what could be his last game for Arsenal on Sunday night, coming off the bench in the closing minutes of their 1-0 win over Newcastle at the Emirates. The crowd gave him a big cheer and sang his name, showing their respect and appreciation for a player who gave everything during his time in North London. The game was Arsenal's second last of the season, and the win secured second place in the Premier League. But the story of the night was all about Tierney. His brief appearance was a quiet goodbye, one that spoke volumes. He's now set to return to Celtic in the summer after agreeing a pre-contract with the Hoops. He'll officially become a Celtic player again once his Arsenal contract ends in June. Tierney left Celtic in 2019 in a £25 million move that made him the most expensive Scottish player at the time. He became a fan favourite at Arsenal for his commitment, hard tackling and energy, but injuries and new signings pushed him down the pecking order. This season, he barely featured for Arsenal and was sent on loan to Real Sociedad in Spain last season. Celtic tried to bring him back in January to help with their Champions League push. Brendan Rodgers wanted him and fans were desperate to see him return, but Arsenal refused to let him go early. They wanted to keep him around until the end of the season, even though he wasn't playing much. This decision didn't sit well with Celtic fans, who felt the club missed out on a key signing. The choice to block the move came from Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta, a former Rangers player. That only made the situation worse in the eyes of some supporters. Many felt that Tierney was ready and willing to return, and that Arsenal should have let him go back to the club where he started. Arteta said, "With Kieran, he had a very special circumstance, the way he had to come back and settle in the team again after 4 months out, and he's been really good with the group. He has contributed in every possible way to help us, and I'm very grateful for that. We have a few in the dressing room that probably is going to be the last time they put on that shirt in the Emirates. I've been there and I make sure we are close to them, and I am very grateful to them as well," he concluded. Tierney's return to Celtic is a big moment. The Hoops have lacked a top-quality left-back since he left in Europe. He knows the club inside out, and fans will be glad to see him back in the Hoops. At 27, he still has plenty to offer. His experience in England and Spain will bring extra quality to the squad. Greg Taylor has done everything to fill the void, but Tierney will add that extra attacking threat at left-back. However, with Taylor seemingly set to leave, it looks to be one in and one out at left-back for the Hoops. For now, Celtic fans will have to wait a few more weeks, but the homecoming is nearly complete. Kieran Tierney is coming back to paradise. What are your thoughts on these? Let us know down in the comment section below. Make sure you've liked this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content.